Hello and welcome from me as well. It's a great pleasure that we are here again 7 years later, still with a lot of people with us, especially Steven again. But what I would like to start with is not only thinking about the great achievements that we have made in the 7 years. I would also like to think ahead in terms of what it is that there still is to do. First and foremost, I did some very boring counting when I checked out the national consortia and the organizations who belong to national consortia. I was really surprised to see that half of the organizations in national consortia across our member countries are actually universities. But if you randomly walk into a university that is part of the CLARIN family, and you talk to a random student, a random librarian, or a random researcher or even lecturer, a lot of them will not really be very familiar with CLARIN, often from very relevant fields. So I think that we need to do a lot more dissemination and knowledge sharing within our own institutions. But I thought, that's maybe just for political reasons they put universities to national consortia, but really, like, they're silent partners. So I also counted how many of the national consortia are based at a university, and for that, it was even more than 60%. So if you have the CLARIN National Consortium based at the university, then I don't think that there's a legitimate excuse why CLARIN wouldn't be well known at that university. And it is my very big passion for us together to try and improve this situation. Hopefully in the next 7 years we are successful. The second big reason why I'm very pleased that we have you all here is that the reality for most of our disciplines has changed a lot in the era of LLMs and AI, because the new generations of scholars are going to have very different needs. When CLARIN was established, we were super proud that we can offer part-of-speech taggers for all our languages, right? Who needs speech taggers nowadays? Especially the young generations of researchers. And it's not really clear to me what it is that they do need, because I don't have time to talk to them and to understand their needs. And because you have direct contact with the new generations of SSH scholars, I hope that we can tackle this issue together. First, we need to identify what it is that they need. Then also we need to start providing what it is that they need for us to still remain relevant. So hopefully we have enough interesting stuff to do in the 7 years. What I'm now going to show you is not something that I find the most necessary for you to know, or something that I'm the most passionate about in terms of training, but it's something that Juliana said is needed by you. Apparently you have requested this in that, yes. So basically I will try and show you that CLARIN is not a lone star in the sky, but that we belong to the bigger, well-connected universe. There's not a lot of words here, and you don't need to really be able to read all of them, but I want to show you that CLARIN has been centrally positioned not by us, but by ESFRI in the broader SSH landscape, where we share the space providing language data and tools for humanities scholars, first and foremost. Very close to us is the Darja ERIC, that is also quite a mature ERIC, and then with quite a big overlap with one of the newest ERICs on the block, ERI. This is a new ERIC for Holocaust research. We are then in terms of communities that we are addressing, similar to resilience and ERIS, also quite new. ERIS is an ERIC for cultural heritage and resilience is an ERIC to be. It's still a project, not an ERIC yet, for religious studies. And then quite horizontal is operas. This is also a project, not an ERIC yet, for open scholarly communication, so basically open journals and so on. In terms of types of data that we deal with, we are very similar to communities, colleagues from social science disciplines. One of the newest ones is the project MEDEN. They are aiming at political science, electoral democracy. In terms of our archiving offer, we are the closest to the CESDA ERIC. This is one of the oldest ERICs, so it's also a mature infrastructure. Then with narrower scope and kind of different missions are survey-based social science ERICs. One is ESS, the other one is SHARE. These are already mature ERICs. SHARE is one of the oldest even for all the disciplines. And then the two new kids on the block, GGP and Guide. They all do interoperable, the same pan-European survey guides for their own research roles. And whenever you see this curious symbol, infinity symbol, all of these are also members of the EOS Open Studies Association. What does SHOC do? SHOC is one of the clusters. There's 5 science clusters. For us, disciplinary focus is the SSH Open cluster. We were established in, I believe, 2012 when we were funded the first project for the SSH Open cluster. And then even after the project was over, we remained active. We have a governing board that meets monthly, and we have a strategic work plan. And what you should be aware of is that all of these ERICs, regardless of the communities that they are serving, the type of data that they are working with, and the level of maturity, all of them find training and education as one of the 3 key most important pillars. So this is where we can find a lot of common interest and common ground. And we are trying to collaborate on developing a website that would have a competence center so that we could offer information and assistance to all our users. This is a shared catalog service that we all benefit from and you contribute to. It's called Social Science and Humanities Open Marketplace. It's not a place to store data, but it's where you can describe your data as well as your research workflows. And this is a joint effort within the SHOC cluster. And then this is very, very, very new, and we are very proud of this in the context of an all-science cluster project called OSCARS. We have been asked to establish competence centers so that you can see this as a sort of a one-stop shop for all SSH users across Europe to be able to have a simple entry point to this very complicated and messy world of research infrastructure. So this has been set up. It's not functional in the sense of having actual people working there full time to be able to ambitiously help every single researcher. We are now collecting skills and materials and services that we can start offering, hopefully, in the coming period. I believe that's all from me, but if you have any questions, I'm going to be here today and tomorrow, so you can just ask. Enjoy the workshop.